So this is in regards to me not being able to post a video every day, and I want to lay out what you can expect of me. Although I could post every day, I don't want to get too hard up or obsessed about posting every day, which is why I'd like to give 1 or 2 days gaps in between my uploads, is what I've thought about. So every other day or the next is when you will get to hear from me. Not once a week, but every 2 days is how I can make it work. And I could upload shorts in those gaps in between, so then it'll become continuous, which means almost every day. I've had to come to these conclusions after some contemplation, and it doesn't make sense to post every day, and I'll tell you why. Although I could if I was some sort of news reporter or if my content was trending, but I also think that me talking requires a little preparation to actually bring it out verbally. Because I want to talk about things that hold some value, not like some sort of Q&A, but I want to bring meaning into someone's life. And it's not that I'm against Q&A, maybe I would do that too at some point, but this next cycle that I've stepped into is a tricky one, I feel. So I would want to be careful with my words, because I don't want to be blabbering just anything. In fact, I'd like to take some time to think twice before I say something. And nor does it make sense to have extended gaps either, because I don't want to make it too easy for me. I'm not sure why I've started thinking like this, but it's been happening subconsciously now, and more so it's happening automatically, which is why I'm not having it too easy, but just letting it sit on my skin. And nor am I getting stressed out, so that's nice. But if I can make this work, I'll be very happy with myself. Because my content is not actually for scrolling. You'd be surprised to be linked to my energy field after having watched a few videos of mine, and that's good as long as you maintain a relation with me and embody the concepts that I speak about for your own gratification and well-being. Because if I post every day, it will be too much information for you to handle, and that leads me to say that it's not required. You will need time to comprehend. This is why I'm not someone who can talk about general things like how is my day going, or something like that. Or maybe I can do that too someday, but I've been in deep thoughts past couple of months, and even years, to summarize the details regarding existence itself, which is why I cannot talk about travel or food or casual gossip or making some type of general vlogging content. I mean, essentially, yes, I would consider myself a vlogger as well, but with a twist. Because I want to engage into some interesting topics that I don't see anyone else doing, which lets me understand that I could be of some value to people. Because things have changed, it always keeps changing. We're obviously not in the same era that we were a few years ago, talking in a certain context, but it seems like I've got to craft and create a context within my perspective to show that everyone's perspective is different, even in subtle ways, and mine is comparatively very different in contrast, if you can tell, which is why I can't talk about casual topics. I talk from my vantage point of what I feel should be brought before your awareness so that you can grasp it and make the most out of your own awareness and perception. So indirectly, I'm making you contemplate things towards asking questions to yourself which you may have never asked yourself before. And it would only get more intense, so stay tuned for that. Now, when you know that this is a dream, why do you keep falling back into reality? And I keep reminding myself of that as well. When you know that this is temporary, why do you keep making assumptions? Why can't you be the best version right away? Assumptions that lead to suffering. Assumptions cannot override truth. Assumptions are locally within yourself, within the individual, whereas truth is universal. Truth is like the internet. So if truth is the internet, then your pineal gland is the Wi-Fi, so to speak. If truth is not an assumption, then what exactly is it? Looks like we have to define what is truth, what is the meaning of truth, before we know how to understand the truth. So, truth is not an assumption, so what is it? Is it the opposite of a lie? Can lies be assumptions? Yes, lies are mostly assumptions. So, what is the opposite of assumptions? The opposite of assumptions is no assumptions. So, if the reference point of lies is assumptions, then what is the reference point of truth if there are no assumptions? Is it clarity? Clarity versus assumptions? So what I'm making is that the reference point of truth is clarity. Then what is clarity? You see, we're back to square one. In essence, truth is knowing. It cannot be taught, it cannot be told, it cannot be explained or described. It can only be felt, which is also clarity, and the knowledge of truth can be perceived by those who are capable of understanding the truth, those who are eligible, those who are qualified to decode the truth. Because truth is encrypted, truth is encoded. Not everyone would know how to talk about it. You need the keys to access truth. Where are the keys? It's in the same place where your soul is. Then you can get the keys. Do you know where your soul is? Is it inside your body? Is it inside your mind? Try taking a wild guess. Do you know when playing a video game, are you really inside the computer screen or the TV screen? Or are you navigating the controls from elsewhere? Does the player inside the computer screen know that it's being controlled from elsewhere? Can the player backtrack your movement outside the screen? Now, can you tell me where do you go to when you fall asleep? When you go unconscious? Can you really backtrack your movement outside your waking state? How can you tell whether you're not playing another game? Your waking state is the gameplay if you haven't realized that. Any time wasted in your waking state is going to cost you. Of course, taking rest is something else. And you will need rest as well to contemplate and to understand the rules of the game. You will get ample rest. But use your resting period wisely, so that when it's time to play, you play to win. And to win means that you need to be fulfilled. You need to become your best version by crossing over all barriers. Now that I have my answers, do you think I would miss any opportunity? I'm a strong player, and I'd like to set my next challenge, which is it possible to be a billionaire in the next 40 days? I am totally aligned with my path, and I'm going to prove it that I'm aligned. How can I prove it? Let me rephrase. So, alignment requires presence, right? Which means no matter how I flow, the work should be done automatically, I suppose. Effortlessly, I would believe it to be so. So, here is what I'm going to do. Let's keep a check on the next 40 days. I'm going to make the uploads, not letting anything distract me. In fact, I will drag the distractions along if I need to, but I will not miss on the uploads. I'm sure I would have something to share every second day or the next, and somewhere in between these days, our connection will become stronger than ever. Because I can feel your presence already, watching my coherence, and I want to be in full display mode so that you can examine my energy with me, because I need to find out if I can do it too. So in 40 days, I will consider my energy field is stable, which definitely feels like the next chapter of my life has begun, and I'm quite excited and nervous at the same time, because I don't know how I would roll, but I know I've got to create something out of thin air. I've got to become good at creating something out of thin air. In the meantime, let's also talk about some negotiations. I know it might not seem quite apt for the moment, but this is the only time that I will get to speak about it. So let me lay out my expectations and talk about my cost to company, if you will. So see, I don't know if it is just me, but I have a feeling that I will be lifted up like a rocket, and I'm ready for that. And when the time comes, allow me to receive another $1 billion of wisdom when I start making sense. And I'll keep it a secret, because if thousands of $1 billion can be spent for all the space missions, which is likely going to be a fluke shot, with none of us actually being able to go that far. Instead, I might just take a chance on me, for I can help restructure the entire world network. Because what I feel is only the truth is missing. Once that comes to the limelight, then everything will be clear. And not much would be needed to spend on the space missions. Instead, we can just party. Because we can already travel faster than light if you haven't realized that. Maybe for the visuals, you think you want something, and that's fair enough. Why not? But your mind is already far more capable than any external visual experience whatsoever. The need to travel faster than light is not only time consuming and impossible, but it's irrelevant. You are the entire time machine. Wow. Let's just end with that. You are the entire time machine. So why waste time burning all that rocket fuel? It's pointless. Embrace your imaginations, because that's where the truth can be found.